Up next, we have Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson. Cannonier coming in as a negative 160 favorite. Derek Brunson coming in as a plus 135 underdog. Fern, what's your breakdown?
Middleweight fight. These guys have a lot of experience. You've seen Jared Cannonier fight Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Anderson Silva. One of the fights that I decided to break down for Cannonier was his win against Anderson Silva. So in this fight, Anderson Silva is known as a dynamic, strong fighter that attacks, counterattacks, just can switch it up, do anything, grappling, striking. And watching Cannonier essentially pick him apart was disheartening and sad. But it showed that the younger guy, stronger guy will win when, he's in shape and ready to attack and have a plan. And he was able to come at Anderson with kicks, which we've seen Anderson's history with kicks. He defends them, or if he defends them improperly, he becomes aggressive and attacks and then hurts his leg. So Cannonier looked like he had a clear strategy in it against a striker, which was take out his base, take out his striking, avoid him loading up, did outside leg kicks, inside leg kicks, and ultimately was able to wear Anderson down. That fight ended by essentially TKO by leg injury. And in that fight he had him second guessing the kick, and then was able to strike and then pull up his knee, get him to flinch, strike. So I think that he learned a lot from fighting somebody like Anderson to the point where he's going to be able to mix it up very well. For Brunson, he has his last win was a submission win against Darren Till in September, unanimous decision win against Holland, KO win before that against Shabazian. He's got a crazy resume. I was looking back and I was like, I didn't remember him fighting Lyoto Machida, but he knocked out Lyoto Machida. Wins over Hall, Alvey, Chris Lieben, Ed Herman. Just, it's like the Ultimate Fighter, like, Hall of Fame. Like, Ultimate Fighter show, Hall of Fame, it seems like. So against Machida, who's a karate guy, and at one point everyone thought was going to be like, it's the Machida era per Joe Rogan. Everyone didn't know how to solve this guy, didn't know how to figure him out. John Jones was the first one to kind of lay blueprint groundwork for that. And so Brunson in his fight against Machida is the one that I analyzed. And he pressures right away. He's able to close the distance, punches when separating. It wasn't a long fight. Like, it took a round to figure him out and then seal the deal. Comes in, Machida strikes from all angles and made Brunson have to punch when separating to be able to try to land something. And as the fight wore on, Brunson then started kind of trying to rush and push him as he's attacking. And that helped him essentially land an overhand as they're in close. And then as Machida lands, falls on his back, Brunson grabs the back of his head and just starts swinging on him. And so he has a clear plan on what to do when people are hurt, when people are moving, when they're dynamic. And this is going to be a very exciting one. I think this is going to be a KO one. I know Brunson has good wrestling. Cannonier is very strong, powerful, compact. This, for me, is going to be a very exciting fight to watch. I'd love to see Cannonier win because anyone who beats Anderson Silva, to me, is like, they better win the title. They beat him. So we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, you beat somebody like Anderson Silva, I hope you win the title. Like, I hope Anderson didn't lose in vain, please. What do you think, Colby?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Izzy beat Silva and went on to get the championship. It made you feel a little bit better about Silva's loss. But I was impressed watching Cannonier's last fight against Gastelum. It went all 5 rounds, so I feel like you got to see a lot of different techniques because Gastelum is a guy who can wrestle, he's a guy who can strike, he's a little bit shorter, obviously, for the weight class, and so not necessarily the best proxy to judge how he's going to do against other people in the division. but Cannonier, it shows that he's still got his conditioning. He's got good striking technique where he can mix it up really well. He's got the good all around mixed martial arts, which you'd have to beat the people like he's beat Silva, Hermanson, Dominic, or no, he didn't beat Dominic Reyes, but he's beat some really good people, and I think that's only possible, with with lots of different kinds of styles. If you're a really well-rounded fighter, he's not a one-trick pony. So I haven't seen as much from Derek Brunson. I'm not as familiar with his fighting style. I do know that in his last fight against Darren Till, that's the one I remember. It's the freshest on my mind, that he beat Darren Till just with superior wrestling, where he just very basic. He was just focused on the fundamentals, and Darren Till just could not get up, and Brunson essentially just grinded him out. What I thought is, this guy's a veteran. When I saw him fighting Darren Till, I didn't think to myself, he's the best wrestler I've ever seen. He's not the best striker I've ever seen. It's just he knew how to win that fight, and he did what he needed to do to win it. And so, yeah, Derek Brunson's not going to be a pushover, but I think Jared Cannonier has the physicality and the superior technique, and I do think Cannonier is going to pull this one off.